What's up, everybody? This is the 8 to 5 Trader. Hope you had a good day. Today is June 6, 2018, and today I'm going to give you guys my my recap video on the trades that I made today. Now, today was not as good as the past 4 days. I ended up negative 322 bucks today, and after commissions, I ended up minus 439.59 with $103.95 in commissions. But I did make some really good trade. A good trade, and I'm gonna go over this throughout the day right here, so I can show you how I made my trades throughout the day and what my thought process was in the process. Now I get my alerts from the chat room that I'm in, which is Bear Bull Traders. There's a link to that in the description, and yeah, let's get started. So first off, AMBA was on the scanner. They gap down in the pre-market, and I was looking to short this after the first 5 minutes, and I went short 200 shares at minute 6. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minute 6, I went short 200 shares when it was getting ready to break low of day, and we got a squeeze up right here on the 1 minute, and my entry was 43.05, 200 shares, and then I got out at 43.22. The price action ended up going up higher, but to 45, so I'd have been down quite a bit more. And that big squeeze I was not anticipating, but I did get a very late entry right here. That's kind of to be expected, but that kind of threw me off a little bit, and I ended up covering the position. But we did get a breakdown on this, and my ultimate target right here was 42.26, and the price action ended up not getting there. It kind of did. It ended up getting at 42.42, so I'm sure there was probably another level. Yeah, there was another level right here that I didn't have, which was 42. Let's see right here. 42, yeah, 42.48, 42.50 is around the level that I could have added here, but I put it here at 40, I'm sorry, 40.49, and I could have moved it, but I had my level here at 40.28, and the price action ended up bouncing or finding support right there several times before it squeezed up, but eventually it did kind of sell off, but this ultimately ended up being a very choppy price action. So even though I didn't lose much on this, it sucks that I got out too early, but it dropped from my entry almost 50 cents, so that would have been $100, but I ended up taking a loss on that for 34 bucks. So that's AMBA. Then YY. I traded YY a lot, and honestly, I feel like I didn't do too much wrong on this first trade except my exit. So YY was gapping down, right? And I was thinking to myself, okay, let's see if YY can fade down to 108.92, which was the level that I had that it ended up touching. I got this level from looking at the daily levels, and the other 5-minute levels basically determining where the price action previously touched, and that's how I got this level right here, and it touched again today. So at open, the price action squeezed up, and then it went down, and it ended up closing below the VWAP, even though it was more bullish than what the candle opened, which would have been right around here. So I looked at this as an opportunity to go back short. I was thinking, okay, it closed below the VWAP. It couldn't keep the momentum that it had. Maybe it'll go down. So I went short. I feel like my entry right here was perfect. I don't think I could have got a better entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After the 5-minute mark, I feel like this was by far the best entry I could have gotten, and we pushed down for about a point, but on the level 2, it was, I think the spread was like 20 or 30 cents at the time, and I didn't cover anything. So I was thinking that, we get ready to form this nice little trend to the downside. The non-moving average is going to form this trend line, and we're just going to push all the way down to this level. And what ended up happening is the price action right here, this 1 minute mark right here, the price action literally just boom, it went boom within 5 seconds. And I freaked out. I was just like, okay, maybe it's going to come back down. And it came down, and we didn't get the move back down. And eventually I ended up covering for a loss. But eventually the price action did come back down. But had I held it, I would have been down 300, maybe 350, almost 400 bucks on that trade. Bad trade. I took 100 shares here. But like I said, I feel like my entry was perfect here. My exit was not as good as it could have been, but it was jumping so much. Like when it got right here, it just exploded, and I couldn't recover from it. Unfortunately, I had to take a loss on it. But right here was indication of what could have happened. But right here, I see this pattern so much. Like, you know, once you see my trade on FSLR, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the price action didn't make a push above the non-moving average, so I figured it would have kept going down. And then we got that big move up, this big squeeze. Somebody covered a huge position, bought up a lot of shares, and I just got caught in a big squeeze. You know, it is what it is. So I came back short later, thinking that we're gonna keep moving down, break this 5-minute candle, and just go down to the low. I got a very late entry. I do still think my entry was good. It could have been a lot worse, but you know, it could have been down here, could have been around here. But I feel like even though I shorted here, I feel like this entry was decent. I don't feel like it was the most terrible entry. I was risking maybe 30 cents at the time, from like 60s up to the 90s. That was only like 30 bucks. I took 100 shares. This doji right here on the 5-minute, I ignored this doji. I looked at this doji and saw it. I was like, we made lower highs, lower lows. But this doji, even though it wasn't to the upside, this doji, or rather, you know, flat or to the upside, it, you know, I thought it was going to keep going down, so I went short. I was below the non-moving average, and as soon as I shorted, within 10 seconds, this popped up, and I got very frustrated with this trade. I mean, this was later on in the day. I think, let's see, you know, let's see, it was 160. Actually, no, it was a lot longer than that. It was about 50 seconds. So it popped back up, and eventually I just covered. That was almost a point. I lost almost a point on that move. So, you know, this move right here, even though I can't see it on the 1 minute, but this move, this candle right here was very fast. But this one wasn't as brutal, but it still almost cost me a point. So this one, you can imagine, cost me quite a bit. So I ended up leaving YY alone. I wanted to get this move, which happened here. This is the move that I was looking for right here, because I know around 10:30, 11 o'clock, the price action begins to sell off. Everybody's starting to close their positions, and we get these big sell-offs. And this sell-off was just exactly what I was looking for, and I just didn't get it. When I see it formed that beautiful 9 moving average, 20 moving average trend line all the way to the downside. It was just beautiful. Look at that. It was perfect. And yeah, it was perfect all the way down to 104.50. I just didn't get the move when I was looking for it. So, you know, it is what it is, right? So I took some very bad losses on that, and that really messed with my mindset. But I didn't let it shake me. At the same time, I took FSLR after I lost this big move on here. I kind of got out of order here. After I took this big loss here, when I was also trading FSLR at the same time, I took one trade on FSLR. I got in after the 5-minute mark. The price action was forming a downtrend, open range breakdown. I missed some of the move, but I got in at, let's see, minute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minute 7, I got in, went 200 shares short. To the downside, kind of a late entry, but still a good entry. I was kind of hesitant on this one because I didn't want it to squeeze up just how it did on AMBA. That, you know, I got in right here, but that big move to the upside that possibly could have happened, which what happened on YY. But FSLR price action formed this beautiful 9 moving average trend all the way down on 1 minute, which is exactly what I was looking for, and it trended all the way down. I got kind of scared right here, even though I tend to cover my positions when I get to the 20, but I was like, no, let me just see what it does. It kept going down, and my target was 54.87, right? Once we broke that and it kind of just kept going, I just decided to just hold it and see what it would do. So it just kept going down, and we never really lost the 9. I mean, the 9 moving average was never really claimed, and, you know, kept pushing up. It came back down, and I finally covered here. Around 53, 54. Should have covered around here when it started to get flat, but, you know, I kept it till it broke, and then it ended up going back down, so I could have got back in here. Good entry right here. And I ended up making $352 on that trade. I held that trade for about an hour, and that was a really good trade, but I was trading all this other garbage at the same time. I ended up holding that, yeah, for about an hour, but in between this hour, all of this garbage happened. So all of this happened. So let's go to NKTR. No, let's go to SIG first. SIG happened. I traded SIG. SIG, I think this was a good trade. I don't see anything wrong that I did with this trade other than me I guess, closing it kind of early. I went short after getting this move down through the VWAP. I was thinking that we were going to get to this 9-moving average, but we didn't get it in the candle that I was looking to get it at when I shorted. We end up squeezing up, and I think, let's see, 51.12, 200 shares, and I covered at 51.68. I lost about 40 cents on that trade, so I lost 80 bucks on that. And then as soon as I got out, the price actually began to sell off. So, you know, it didn't claim this line, but when you're short with big positions like that and you get these big squeezes, you know, it really will freak you out, because I was thinking that with it possibly squeezing, it could have easily, you know, it was already in an uptrend. It could have kept going up, which is what it eventually did. So when we didn't claim this 9 right here, or at least touch it, that kind of spooked me a little bit. And then I end up getting out and the price actually ended up selling off, touching exactly where I wanted it to go. So another trade where I feel like I botched. You know, I feel like my entry was good, just my exits, you know, the market just big orders were going through. Now, before we get to that one, let's go to NKTR. NKTR, I was trading this at the same time, the same move. I was looking for the VWAP reversal. I mean, the breakdown through VWAP to touch the 9-moving average. I shorted 200 shares here. Didn't get the move down. It was in an uptrend, so what it ended up doing, it closed below the VWAP, which would have indicated a short also for me in my strategy. But I went short, luckily, because sometimes I short when it's coming down through VWAP, and sometimes I short when it's closing below VWAP, because a lot of times I look for false breakouts where the price action goes up and then it fails to make a new high and then it comes down, falling down through the VWAP. But if these moving averages weren't as close, I think we would have got a more significant move. But ultimately, we didn't get the move, and I covered for a small loss. I think I lost, let's see, 22 bucks on that trade. So that wasn't that bad of a trade. Like I said, I think my entries and my exits were good. We just didn't get the move. Now, YY. I talked about that second trade already, that garbage. Then MU. I traded MU. Let's see here. MU, I think this trade was very premature. This is around the 10 o'clock time where I expect stocks to start falling. So I thought that the price action closed below VWAP right here. I thought this was to close, but unfortunately I shorted too early. And what I ended up doing, if I was going to short, I would have shorted right here. But, you know, it is what it is. I just got a bad entry. Like, this trade was so bad. Like, it was just a bad trade. And I was telling myself, wait until 10:30. Because at the time when I was making this FSLR trade, these trades in between, because I was already down like 150 from this bad trade. This trade, the FSLR trade, actually brought me back to even. I was break even, but I started trading all of this in between me closing the FSLR trade. I was actually at even, and I want to say I was actually positive about 40 bucks. Then I started making all these bad trades, and then I just lost those profits, and I just started tanking. So I took this trade, and I should have waited till the 10:30 mark. I should have waited till we got the close below VWAP. It offered a good little push down to this level right here. I could have got in right here when it was coming down. You see the downtrend right here. It was making the move. I could have got in right here. I've done this move before. Got in right here, rolled the momentum down, and I just prematurely got in, and I ended up paying for it. So there's MU, and I didn't touch it again. And IQ, I was looking for the big move on IQ again. And again, this was another premature move, even though it didn't get a significant push down. Well, actually, yep, it ended up getting a big move down, but my move was premature, right? So price action was coming down. We got the close below VWAP. I was like, okay, we're at the 200 moving average on the 5-minute. Let's see if we can push down the previous day close. We pushed down, but we didn't go down as far as I would have liked. And I was hoping we would eventually get down a lower day from right here. But again, this is around that time that stocks began to sell off, and which is kind of what happened here in a very choppy fashion, because the volume wasn't really there anymore compared to the open. But I went short 200 shares, and I feel like, again, my entry was perfect. I don't think I could have got a better entry. I shorted 200 shares, and when the price action was pushing down, I added another 200, and we got the move down to about 10 cents. I was up 40 bucks, and I was really hoping we could get that push down even further. We didn't get it. Then the price action squeezed up right here. I should have closed it right here. I was like, no, we didn't lose the 9 yet. We didn't lose it, and it went up. When it came down and closed, I should have closed this trade out. Like this, my exits on these, on YY, on IQ, and YY in IQ, my exits and also SIG, as you'll see, these exits were not good. These were very bad exits, but the entries were so beautiful on these, and the exits, they just weren't there. And it came from not only my impatience, but me thinking that. See, the problem with my moving average trend, if I don't close this, there's a possibility it can keep going up, especially with this being a low float. But I was really hoping that, okay, just like FSLR, we're not losing the non-moving average. You know what I mean? I was thinking it was going to just boom, go back down. And I thought it was going to fall really rapidly like this did, but no, we didn't get the move, and I ended up paying for it. So that's IQ, and I think I took another, oh no, that's me adding it. So yeah, I shorted twice, and then I covered the position. Around this time, I covered FSLR. So I think around this time, I was down about $250 or something like that. So it was still a decent day, even though, or a decent day as far as losing goes. I don't like losing this much, but at this point where I was, it wasn't that bad. And then I took another trade on SIG. So SIG dropped down. I'm thinking that SIG is going to bounce off this non-moving average, being that it was already up more than 15% on the day. I think it was even up more than that. Let's see, 16%. It was up more than that around this time. It was about 17, 18%. So I'm thinking, okay, it gapped down, it pushed down. We're going to make a new high here. Maybe we're going to, well, not make a new high, but maybe we're going to bounce here. So I'm thinking, we didn't lose the non-moving average. We got the close. Let's see if we can bounce. So I went long. Price action dropped below 15. Dropped below 52, and I was like, no, this thing's about to die. So I closed the trade. Then it didn't fully lose it. Once we got the close above the non-moving average on the 5-minute, I said it's gonna go. It's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. And I went long again, 200 shares, and then I sold for a loss again. So I ended up losing, like, overall I lost 88 on that uptrend attempt. And as a note, I'm not a long, I'm not a momentum trader to the long side anyway. I'm very much better at taking short trades, as you see with FSLR and my entries on the short trades. So, as a short bias trader, I should have took this to the short side, especially when it started consolidating. And I saw the move here. I saw this. I was looking at this, but I had already been down $400, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to short this again. And then this thing just shoots to the moon. I could have easily took this trade. I was looking right at it, and I just didn't take it. So I saw the price action come down to just to 20, then bounce, but I just didn't take it. At this point, I was like, nothing's working right now other than the big trade I made on FSLR. So I ultimately just left it alone. So that ended up me being negative 322, even though I made a fantastic trade on FSLR. And I had $103 in commissions, and I'm down from $439.59 for the day. So, like I said, most of these trades, the entries were fantastic, except for like MU and the last few trades on SIG. I felt like I traded really well until, I made those bad trades after FSLR. And I think IQ really rattled me a little bit, because I really like when this trade happened, I literally just put my hands in my face and just went, no, this sucks. And then after that trade, I literally just got upset and just covered this trade. Good thing I did cover, because it went back up, but it didn't allow me to see the other trades that were happening. And at that point, my mental was just gone, and I just decided to just end it and just call it a day. Come back stronger tomorrow, do my recap, and just figure out what went wrong. And I know what it was just I was just impatient. Like, this trade was working out for me so well. Had I just left it alone and just not even so much the trades that I took on IQ and MU and all that, if I had just waited till 10:30, like I told myself, like, when these trades happen, just wait till 10:30 when everybody, because that's when I see trades start to sell off. I see that these trades happen around this time. Had I just waited, I would either have not taken these trades, or I would have gotten more favorable trades and possibly avoided the big squeezes. See right here, I would have avoided this. On MU, I would have avoided this. On SIG, I probably wouldn't have even taken this. And if I had, I probably would have been taking it to the short side, because my mind and my judgment wouldn't have been clouded. And why I probably wouldn't have taken this, and I would have noticed that the doji happened, and I may have even taken this to the long side, because the doji right here, this is a clear indication, especially with it going right here and it didn't never really push back down, that's a good indication it was going to go back up. So I feel like my judgment was clouded at that point, and you know, I was just recklessly trading at that point. Actually, I wasn't even trading. I feel like I was gambling. Now that I look back at it, I was gambling. So, you know, when you gamble, that's what happens. And, you know, I paid the price, and tomorrow I'm opening up under $4,000. So, you know, we go forward and then we get knocked back when we don't, you know, make good trades. So, you know, we're going to start tomorrow fresh and study and get the mindset right to make sure that we have as best of a day as we can tomorrow. So that's all I got. Stay tuned for all my upcoming videos. Subscribe, like the video, and let me know what you guys think. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.